Heretic will end up being one of the more underrated movies of 2024. It was one of my highly anticipated movies of the year once I saw the trailer for the first time, and I finally got a chance to watch it, so let's discuss it. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Surfing the Stream, where every week we're on a quest to find out what is the greatest movie of all time. Heretic stars Hugh Grant in a role that I never thought that I would see him in. And my God, this performance here is one of the best of the year and arguably of his career. His character will have you on the edge of your seat for the entire runtime. He definitely steals the show here and 100% makes this movie worth watching. So speaking of edge of my seat, at 1 hour and 50 minutes, I do think this movie is a little too long. Towards the third act, you do start feeling kind of like you're in a rat in the same maze or game that the protagonists are thrown into. But despite those issues in the back half of the movie, I was completely invested in these characters. Sister Paxton and Barnes are characters you instantly feel empathy towards. Hugh Grant's character, Mr. Reed, is a home run performance, but also a really great character on top of that. The dialogue between him and the two girls is very thought-provoking. The other issue with the movie is when it deviates from these three characters to maybe the elder looking for the girls. That aspect of the movie was really underdeveloped. And this isn't really a spoiler at all, but at the very beginning, there's a prank that the kids play on Sister Paxton. It's kind of pointless in the grand scheme of things. So I don't know why that was even in the movie. So it's just little tidbits here and there in this movie that should have just been cut completely. And I think just shaving off maybe 10 to 15 minutes from this movie would have worked in its favor. And while the movie is definitely tense and it has you on the edge of your seat, the dialogue is really the reason why you're on the edge of your seat and why that tension is there, because the dialogue is really good between these three characters. And again, very thought-provoking. It kind of makes you wonder, okay, are you changing my mind about Jesus and God and religion here? Because I'm kind of confused. So while Heretic isn't a perfect movie by any means, I personally really enjoyed it. If you can rent this for cheap, I'd say pull the trigger. I bought it for $25 on Vudu, and that might be a steep purchase for the regular moviegoer. And personally, I think $25 might actually be a little too high for this movie, but I still really enjoyed it. So if you can find it for cheap, go ahead and rent it. And go ahead and watch this movie. I ended up watching this movie with my mom, and she thought it was the exact opposite. She didn't like it. She thought it was boring. So I will say this. It really depends on what type of movies that you really enjoy. If you love dialogue heavy, little to no action, lots of suspense, or tension, then this is definitely right up your alley. If you're not part of that little collective that likes dialogue to drive the movies that you watch, then you're probably going to want to skip this, because there are some decent horror elements in this movie for sure. I don't know if I would straight up call it a horror movie. It's more of a suspense thriller to me more than anything, but it does have some of those horror aspects woven through this movie for sure. And it definitely gives it some different vibes that I really, really enjoy. But again, how you feel about this movie is going to depend on what type of movies you really, really like. But yeah, guys, let me know down in the comments below of what you thought about Heretic and the characters, the dialogue. Let me know down below, and I will catch y'all next time on another episode. Laters.